Hi, in this video we will find the radius of a cone given its volume and height. So we are going to find the radius. I know the volume and I know the height. Okay, here are your formulas. Remember, if the pi symbol was in the original problem, we would use the pi symbol here and then cancel off each side when you start. But because we do not see the pi symbol in the original problem, we are going to use 3.14 for pi. So step one, make sure you have a notebook out. You need to write these down. You can't do them in your head. All right, I'm just going to fill in what I know. I'm going to use this formula. Again, I'm going to use 3.14 for an estimate of pi. So I'm going to start out. I'm just going to write volume, 938. See, I'm just filling in the formula. 1/3, because it's a cone, 3.14 for pi. Radius squared, I don't know what the radius is, so I'm just going to write radius squared, and I know the height is 4.7 centimeters. Okay, remember the answers are cubed when it's volume because you're talking about three-dimensional space. So that's if you're wondering why it's cubed. And then this is a linear measure. It's measuring a line, which is the height. So there's two ways you can start. Either you want to get rid of the 1/3, and you can multiply both sides of the problem by the reciprocal, which is 3. If you just want to get rid of that 1/3, or you can simplify all this and multiply 1/3 times 3.14 times 4.7, and then you'll get the simplified problem, and you'll just find the radius from there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply both sides by 3 and just get rid of this 1/3 right off the bat. So again, you can either multiply both sides by 3 and get rid of the 1/3, or you can multiply all this out. I don't know if your calculator that you have at home has fractions on it, so if it doesn't, you can do this. Okay, so you just start out and multiply 3 times 938, and I get rid of that 1/3, and I get 2,814. Now I have pi, radius squared, and 4.7. Now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 4.7. 4.7, and I get 14.758. I'm going to round that to 14.76. Okay, so I just get radius squared times 14.76 equals 2814. Okay, next step, you want to get the radius by itself. Obviously, you're just going to divide to eliminate that 14.76. I'm going to divide both sides by 14.76. And that's going to tell me what the radius squared is. Okay, don't forget, it's not the answer. Don't put it in because you will get it wrong, because you have to take the square root at the end. So I'm going to do 2814 divided by 14.7 is approximately 191.42. So I'm going to round that actually to 191. Okay. Now, don't forget, do not put that in. There's no way that this is 191 centimeters and this is 4.7. It doesn't even make sense. So you remember the last step when you're finding the radius is to take the square root. Now we know that 191 is an irrational number, so we're going to make an estimate. It's going to tell you to round to the tenths. So I get a long decimal, 13.82027. I'm going to round that to the tenths, and that will give me approximately, the radius is so you're taking the square root of each side, and I would get 13.8 for, oops, sorry, for the radius. Okay, again, if you want to check your answer before you plug it in, you can take the radius, which is 13.8, and you can plug it back in. 1/3, 3.14, 13.8 squared times 4.7, and you should get approximately 938. Okay, if you have any questions, you can reach me, and have a nice day.